the guys. All right, here we go. Our special guest is YANO Anaya, the one, the only Michael Anthony Jr. from the Van Halen Hot for Teacher album, the 1984 classic. And we're on a mission here. Everybody get your networking caps on. We are looking for the other four members. Yano, tell us about the goal here of reuniting the four members. I know you had more acting credits than any of them, not to belie anybody else, but it's been tough to find information on the other guys. But I know they're out there, and whether this was like their only brush with the Hollywood, memory machine or what. Tell us about the goal here.
Sure. Yeah. So, thank you, by the way, for participating in this mission to try to reach out to the other cast members. And this is something that I've been pondering where they have been for many years, but there was an inspiration that happened just pretty soon, a little while ago, by the name of Steve Rosen, who wrote, this book. He had asked me, can you, do you know, can you, is there any way that we can contact these people? And, in my heart's heart, I would love to be able to just have a conversation with them. I would love to see where they are in their life.
Yeah, put
I
them
would
on a
love to
four-way
see if,
Zoom if they're
yeah,
living in
exactly.
various
Put us on a
states,
four-way Zoom, you know what I mean? And I know that, that because of Van Halen's Hot for Teacher music video, there is a demand. There is something that we can do together as that group. If that's a possibility, I'm open to doing something with them, like a convention or like an autograph signing or something,
Yeah.
something that we can, bring the nostalgia back to Van Halen, back to Hot for Teacher by bringing, the child actors, and maybe we can get together with the band members that we still have left. Because, I say this all the time. Look, Van Halen they're legends, and to be a part of that legendary movie makes us a part of that. And if we can get everybody back into one room, that would be a legendary piece of history in
Just
making.
on the same screen,
Just even on the same screen
yeah,
would be great. Absolutely, I agree. So, this is
posterity,
something
just
that
seeing the reuniting in any form, and it's easier than ever today with Zoom.
it is. It truly is. So
But
it shouldn't
so
be
we're,
that difficult, but we got to work on it. And
some of these
I
guys,
come.
like I say, they may not be networking and social media
Sure.
savvy like you
Sure.
and I are, but
Absolutely.
let's put the word out. So we have the young David Lee Roth, Bill Bookmeyer.
Mhm.
And of course, Bill is a ham and a half in this video. He's got the hat, he's got the sunglasses, he's giving Dave the high five from the back seat of the hot rod, peeling out of Marshall High School there at
Yes.
the end of the video.
Yep.
You have a young Alex Van Halen, Beto Lovato.
Yep.
Beto, where are you, man? Please, Beto,
Yeah,
Bill,
man. Reach
and of
out, brother.
course, a young Brian Hitchcock, who was young Edward Van Halen. And I understand Ed actually gifted him a guitar.
Yep.
What do you know, man?
He
And
did.
even if you sold the guitar, man, we won't hold it against you, Brian.
Yeah,
Come
right.
forth.
Yeah, man. It was
Those Edward Van Halen guitars are quite valuable.
they
I
really are.
understand.
And
So,
even if they were to be able to watch this, just know that those memories that we got to create with each other, they're still present within me. And if you're open to a conversation, open to jumping on a Zoom, I'd love to be able to do that just to reconnect.
well, we'd love to referee and archive that for, for history.
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
interviewed a lot of people in Van Halen lore here. And like I say, I have ties myself. I helped put on their first shows they did in the Northwest. When they came on the first album, they opened for Black Sabbath. And I worked with the promoters in Seattle and Vancouver, which
Wow.
also led to Portland. So the first shows Van Halen ever played in the Pacific Northwest, which has become huge in Van Halen history. They used to play multiple nights at the Coliseum, the Seattle Coliseum, where, of course, back in the day, the Seattle Sonics, which became the OK Thunder and all this. This was the big arena, and in Vancouver, the P&E, they called it, the Pacific um, Coliseum,
Mm.
where I saw Queen with Thin Lizzy. I saw Kiss with Cheap Trick. I saw Rod Stewart. I saw all the big shows up there. Um, Van Halen blew Black Sabbath off the stage every night on that tour. I mean,
That's amazing.
today the headliner would, after one show, say, "Next, get these guys the fuck out of here, man. What
Yeah,
the hell are you guys doing to us?" But
Dave
somehow they had the
Eddie,
same
man, and
label. They were
Mike.
both on Warner. I'm
Yeah,
not sure how they survived that tour.
they just they were entertainers, man. They captivated the show. You know what I
Well, let
mean?
me put it this way. Um, Ozzy was well lubricated, and
Hmm.
he was fired at the end of that tour by
Oh
Tony
no.
Iommi and Geezer Butler and Bill Ward. They're like,
Yeah.
"Dude, man,
Too
you're
much, fella.
embarrassing. Yeah, way too much white powder and booze over here." And
Oh, that's hilarious.
Van Halen knew that, yeah, we've been partying all through high school, so we'll stay sober until after the show, and you give us a half hour, we'll play the whole first album. The first album is like 32 minutes. So we'll
Hmm.
play the entire first album, open with On Fire. We'll play everything.
Hmm.
And I swear, every night when the lights came up after they played, you already knew the headliner, the main attraction had already happened. Yes,
That's
Black Sabbath would kind of limp out on stage, 45 minutes later. And after a song or two, a lot of people were heading to the exits. They're like, whoa,
wow.
they got smoked, man. It was like a funeral dirge, is how I explain it, compared to Edward Van Halen, David Lee Roth, Alex Van Halen, Michael Anthony, shot out of a cannon. And
Right.
they didn't give much stage space. Dave could only go to the left and to the right. He didn't have that depth of stage that they would have as a headliner. But it didn't matter. He made sure everybody in the nosebleed section in the back was up on their chair, fists in the air, and singing along with "Ain't Talking About Love" and "Running with the Devil" and "Little Dreamer" and all these great songs. They
Yeah.
just,
Great songs, man.
whew, I mean,
That's amazing.
it was like the changing of the guard. Black
Right.
Sabbath had been on top for like 10 years. They were heavyweight champions. They co-headlined the California Jam. If you saw videos of the 73 festival, 300,000 people out here in Ontario. It
Wow.
was Deep Purple, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Black Sabbath were the headliners. The other acts on the bill were like Eagles, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Black Oak, Arkansas. It was amazing.
Wow.
So tickets were like $10, man.
I
There were
bet.
people as far as you could see.
Wow.
And so Black Sabbath had done their thing. But when Ozzy said, they had Kiss open for them earlier, and Kiss kind of showed them up with the Breathing of the Fire and the whole show. And
Sure.
Ozzy said, "Just get us an LA bar band." Well, unfortunately, they chose the wrong LA bar band, because these guys, straight out of the Whiskey and Gazaris and Starwood, they
Oh,
they
that's
it,
hilarious.
it was like they were playing arena shows when they were on the
Mm.
small stage. Even when they're playing backyard parties, David treated it like it was a stadium show
Yeah,
in his mind.
that's awesome.
So
That's epic.
heaven forbid you put them in arena. Look out. you, you better you better get out of the way, man. These guys
Oh,
are making history every night. So yeah,
that's awesome.
again, Bill, Brookmeyer, we want to hear from you. Please get anybody that knows him, man. Let's start networking. We're going to include some links below. Network Beto Lovato, young Alex Van Halen, and Brian Hitchcock, a young Edward. We want to hear those stories. Yano is waiting to hear from you. Steve Rosen, myself, everybody involved. We want to be a part of bringing all these characters together. And again, it doesn't matter what you did since then. It doesn't matter if you got short hair, gray hair, whatever shape you're in, man. We understand. This
Yep.
was, my God, how many years ago was this now? Is this 40 years ago? Yeah,
84, 84, yeah.
40 years ago
40,
plus.
40.
Wow. So you look great, man.
Thanks,
I
man.
don't know what's your trick, man. How do you keep young?
It's good sleep, a lot of exercise,
A lot
eat
of water,
healthy, and a
drink
lot of
water, get some
sex.
sleep. Well,
Yeah, eat
the
healthy,
music
eat
keeps
it.
you young too. If
Well,
you
of
still
course, man.
listen to some of the
Music is
same
part of
music you
life.
did as a teenager,
Music is part of life. That's right, no doubt, man. There's got to be music on no matter
I
where I go. That's for sure.
I refused to grow up. When I graduated in Panama in 76 and moved back to the States, I made a pledge before I got on that plane. I says, I'm going to seal my youth right here.
Mm,
And even though I'm going to grow as a person and my skills and experience, there's a part of me that's going to stay as youthful and as just awestruck as I am right now
I know.
with life and music and
Yeah.
this adventure. So we love
Thank
it,
you, man.
man.
I
It-
appreciate you reaching
well,
out, doing the recon, and
no,
nailing down
it's
my
the
time
least we
because
can do.
I am running behind right now. So I really appreciate your time so much and everything that you're doing to try
Well,
to bring us back
we
together. So
appreciate
appreciate
it,
you.
Yano,
Yeah, man.
and we'll keep you in touch. And I'd love to reach out to you for those photos that your
Yeah.
mom took.
Yeah, I
That's
sent one in
beautiful.
the chat here.
Okay,
You can find them on Google. They're everywhere.
is
I
that
would
right?
have to dig into my storage and actually take some pictures of
Oh
them
yeah,
because they're there. They're out there.
fantastic. Well, thanks
Yeah,
again
man.
for joining
For sure.
us. We look forward
Absolutely,
to our
man.
next conversation.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.